Where did you come from?
Do you believe in time travel?
Who are you talking to?
I was just taking my pills, Sam.
Donnie Darko isn't just a movie. It's a vortex of chaos, accidents, and pure cinematic madness. Behind the scenes were feuds, banned posters, and even real-world tragedies that seemed ripped straight from the script. And trust me, fact number 21, our bonus fact, is something you'll never believe. So stick around until the end, because you do not want to miss it. And while you're here diving into the madness, hit that subscribe button right now, because just like Donnie's countdown clock, the weirdness is only getting started. Here are 20 weird facts about Donnie Darko you didn't know, and they're stranger than the movie itself. Fact number 1, the engine crash was one terrifying take. The giant jet engine crashing into Donnie's bedroom, that massive prop was rigged with an air cannon and fired in a single heart-stopping take. No room for error, no second chances. The crew held their breath as tons of metal flew through the air into a real house set. One miscalculation could have killed someone. The prop team called it controlled chaos, but everyone on set knew it was pure madness. Director Richard Kelly later admitted he was terrified the entire time, but the shot had to be perfect. It was their only chance to capture that moment of devastating reality. Fact number 2, life imitated art in the creepiest way possible. During production, studio executives mocked the premise, saying jet engines don't just fall off planes. They called it unrealistic Hollywood nonsense. Then, just months after filming wrapped, a real Boeing 747 engine actually detached mid-flight over the Pacific and crashed onto a beach. The timing was spine-chilling. Cast and crew were stunned by the coincidence. Richard Kelly received dozens of calls from freaked-out friends asking if he had predicted the future. The real incident made headlines worldwide, and suddenly, Donnie Darko's central premise didn't seem so far-fetched after all. Some fans still call it cosmic alignment.
And I will deliver them from the kingdom of pain. I will deliver the children back to their doorsteps. I'll send the monsters back to the underground. I'll send them back to a place where no one else can see them, except for me, because I am Donnie Darko.
Fact number 3, Drew Barrymore literally saved this movie from death. Donnie Darko was officially dead. The studio had pulled funding, and Richard Kelly was watching his dream project collapse before his eyes. Then, Drew Barrymore's production company, Flower Films, swooped in like a guardian angel with last-minute financing. Without her intervention, Donnie would have died on the page forever. Barrymore didn't just write a check. She also took a supporting role as teacher Karen Pomeroy and became the film's biggest champion. She believed in Kelly's vision when nobody else would. Her rescue mission transformed a canceled indie film into a cult phenomenon that still haunts audiences today.
May we help you?
Yeah, I just registered and they put me in the wrong English class.
You look like you belong here.
Where do I sit?
Sit next to the boy you think is the cutest. Quiet!
Fact number 4, the script was written in exactly 28 days. Richard Kelly wrote the entire Donnie Darko screenplay in exactly 28 days, the same span of time the film's story takes place. This wasn't planned coincidence. It was pure synchronicity that still gives fans chills. Kelly was obsessed with the number 28 during writing, often losing track of time and writing for 12-hour stretches. He later discovered the mathematical connection and nearly scrapped the script, thinking it was too weird to be real. Instead, he embraced the cosmic timing. Fans have spent decades debating whether this was destiny, coincidence, or proof that Kelly himself was trapped in a time loop while creating his masterpiece.
If you could see your path or channel, then you could see into the future, right? Like, that's a form of time travel.
Well, you're contradicting yourself, Donnie. If we were able to see our destinies manifest themselves visually.
Fact number 5, the jet engine came from a childhood urban legend. The falling jet engine wasn't random Hollywood weirdness. It came from a genuinely terrifying urban legend Richard Kelly heard as a child. The story involved aircraft debris randomly falling from the sky and killing an entire family in their sleep. Young Kelly was traumatized by the tale and carried it with him for years. When he finally sat down to write Donnie Darko, that childhood horror story became the film's central catastrophic event. He wanted audiences to feel the same helpless terror he experienced as a kid, the idea that death could literally fall from the sky without warning. The urban legend's power transformed into cinematic nightmare fuel.
Do that.
Fact number 6. Frank's rabbit suit literally froze the entire film crew. When James Duvall first walked onto set, wearing Frank's nightmarish rabbit costume, the entire cast and crew fell into dead, uncomfortable silence. The massive silver head, with its grotesque human-like teeth and hollow eyes, was more terrifying in person than anyone had imagined. Richard Kelly knew instantly they had created something that would haunt people's dreams for decades. The costume was so disturbing that several crew members refused to be alone in the same room with it. Between takes, Duvall had to remove the head because it was genuinely scaring his fellow actors. Kelly later said that moment of stunned silence told him everything. This will traumatize audiences forever.
For my entire life, I was a victim of my own fear.
Fact number 7. Jason Schwartzman was originally cast as Donnie Darko. Before Jake Gyllenhaal became the iconic troubled teenager, Jason Schwartzman was cast as Donnie Darko. Scheduling conflicts with another project forced Schwartzman to abandon the role, completely altering indie film history. Gyllenhaal stepped in at the last minute, bringing a different energy, more vulnerable and unhinged than Schwartzman's typically quirky persona would have delivered. Kelly later admitted that losing Schwartzman was initially devastating, but Gyllenhaal's performance became impossible to imagine anyone else delivering. Sometimes the best accidents create the most perfect outcomes.
It's amazing, you know? The man thinks he's telling the truth, and everything he says is just a fucking lie. Everything he says! Everyone thinks he's so rad. Shut. Everything he does, they're just gonna...
Are you okay?
Fact number 8. Jake suggested his real sister play his movie sister. Jake Gyllenhaal personally recommended his real-life sister Maggie for the role of Elizabeth Darko, creating authentic sibling tension that bleeds into every family scene. Their genuine brother-sister dynamic, complete with real irritation and affection, made the Darko family dinner conversations feel unnervingly natural. Richard Kelly was initially hesitant about nepotism, but realized their authentic relationship was impossible to fake with actors. The Gyllenhaal siblings brought years of real sibling rivalry and genuine love to their performances. That real family chemistry became one of the film's most believable elements.
Kids, come on, we're going to hotel.
They don't know where it came from.
Fact number 9. The director lost 20 pounds from pure stress. Richard Kelly was only 25 years old when he directed Donnie Darko, and the pressure nearly destroyed him physically. He lost 20 pounds during the chaotic shoot from stress, barely eating or sleeping while managing his complex debut feature. Kelly later admitted he often felt like he was directing like a scared friend, not a confident boss, constantly second-guessing every decision. His youthful inexperience showed in his anxious directing style, but that vulnerability somehow translated into the film's raw, emotional authenticity. Sometimes being terrified creates the most honest art.
Who is he going to kill, Donnie?
I can see right now!
These guys can open up.
Fact number 10. Producers hated the iconic high school tracking shot. The long, dialogue-free tracking shot through the high school hallways, set to Tears for Fears, was nearly cut from the film entirely. Producers called it indulgent film school nonsense and fought hard against including it. They wanted more dialogue, more traditional narrative structure. Richard Kelly refused to budge, arguing that the sequence captured the film's dreamlike atmosphere better than any exposition could. The standoff became heated, with threats to remove Kelly from the project. Producer instincts don't always triumph over artistic vision.
I would appreciate if you would wait.
Dr. Cole, not only am I a teacher, but I am also a parent of a middle-sex child. Therefore, I am the only person here who transcends the parent-teacher bridge.
Fact number 11. The one-man band soundtrack was anti-rock revolution. Composer Michael Andrews performed nearly every single instrument on the Donnie Darko soundtrack himself. Piano, mellotron, organ, ukulele, even toy xylophone. Richard Kelly specifically forbade guitars and drums, wanting to keep the score hauntingly off and unsettling. Andrews spent months layering track after track, creating an otherworldly sound that felt both nostalgic and futuristic. The unconventional approach meant no traditional rock instruments could ground the music in familiar territory. The anti-rock revolution worked perfectly for a film about reality falling apart. Fact number 12. Sparkle Motion's last-minute song, Switch Changed Everything. The dance troupe Sparkle Motion was originally supposed to perform to West End Girls by Pet Shop Boys, but licensing fell through at the last possible moment. The production scrambled and switched to Duran Duran's Notorious, completely transforming the scene's tone and energy. What was meant to be a more electronic, cold performance became something more sensual and 80s glamorous. The last-minute change actually improved the sequence, making the young girl's performance feel more inappropriate and uncomfortable. Richard Kelly later said the licensing disaster was a blessing in disguise, creating a more unsettling contrast between innocent children and suggestive choreography.
Yeah, you see some jerk shoving your head down the toilet. Well, you know what? Maybe you should lift some weights or take a karate lesson, and the next time he tries to do it, you kick him in the balls.
Fact number 13. Jake Gyllenhaal's creepy child voice was pure improvisation. Jake Gyllenhaal's disturbing childlike voice when talking to Frank, the rabbit, wasn't in the original script. It was pure improvisation that made everyone on set deeply uncomfortable. Kelly loved how unhinged and vulnerable it made Donnie seem, like he was regressing to childhood when confronted with cosmic horror. The voice change wasn't planned during rehearsals. Gyllenhaal spontaneously adopted it during filming and never broke character. That improvised vocal choice became one of Donnie's most memorable and unsettling characteristics, showing how mental breakdown might sound in real time.
Well, look what Cat dragged in. How you doing, Donnie? Your little sister was broken-hearted that you missed her big show last night.
Dad, I'm crazy.
You're not crazy.
Fact number 14. Alyssa Milano was supposed to play herself as Donnie's crush. Originally, Donnie's romantic interest wasn't supposed to be the mysterious new girl Gretchen. It was scripted as Alyssa Milano playing herself as Donnie's celebrity crush. Legal issues and Milano's representatives killed the surreal idea before filming began. Christina Applegate was briefly considered as a replacement celebrity cameo, but eventually, Richard Kelly decided to create a fictional character instead. Gina Malone stepped in as Gretchen, bringing depth and vulnerability that a celebrity cameo never could have achieved. The legal roadblock accidentally created a much more emotionally resonant love story. Sometimes, Hollywood obstacles force better creative decisions.
I'll write a book and draw the pictures. Then maybe people understand me. I don't know, change things.
Donnie Darko. What the hell kind of name is that? It's like some sort of superhero or something.
What makes you think I'm not?
Fact number 15. Post 9/11. Poster timing was a marketing disaster. Donnie Darko was released just 6 weeks after September 11th, 2001, with promotional posters prominently featuring a plane crash. The timing was absolutely catastrophic for marketing and audience reception. Americans were still traumatized by real aircraft disasters, and seeing fictional plane crashes in movie advertisements felt tone-deaf and disturbing. Theater owners requested different promotional materials, and many potential viewers actively avoided the film because of its imagery. Sometimes real-world events make fictional disasters impossible to market.
It gives me no pleasure to deny you the right to read one of the great writers of the 20th century, but alas, I have not yet been elected Queen of the Universe, so I must obey the rules, and so will you.
Fact number 16. 28-month midnight movie marathon created cult legend. After flopping in theaters, Donnie Darko found new life as a midnight movie in New York City, screening continuously for an incredible 28 months straight. The midnight showings developed their own culture, with repeat viewers bringing friends and building a devoted fan base through word of mouth. Audiences would dress as characters, quote dialogue, and analyze every frame during post-screening discussions. The marathon run became legendary in cinema history, proving that cult films could survive commercial failure through grassroots passion. The number 28 haunted the film even in its resurrection.
What's going on?
I don't know. That's a good question. Suffice to say, I'm no longer your English teacher. They fired me.
That's bullshit. You're the only good teacher here.
Fact number 17. The director's cut backlash nearly destroyed Kelly's reputation when Richard Kelly got the chance to release a director's cut in 2004, adding 20 minutes of footage and text overlays explaining the time travel mechanics. Fans and critics revolted. The additional material was widely hated, with many saying it over-explained the mystery and ruined the film's ambiguous magic. Critics called the director's cut destroyed, ruined, and a betrayal of the original's power. Kelly received angry letters from fans who felt he had violated their beloved film. The backlash was so severe that many theaters refused to show the longer version. Sometimes directors should leave their masterpieces alone rather than improving them.
What happens if you tell Mom and Dad about this, Sam?
Put Ariel in the garbage disposal.
God damn right I will.
So, Brody.
Hey, Sharita, you want a cigarette?
Shut up! Shut up!
Go back to China, bitch.
Fact number 18. DVD sales resurrection earned 10 times box office revenue. Despite earning less than $1 million in theaters, Donnie Darko sold over $10 million worth of DVDs, proving that cult fandom could literally resurrect a dead film. Home video became the movie's salvation, allowing viewers to pause, rewind, and obsess over every detail. The DVD included extensive commentary, deleted scenes, and behind-the-scenes footage that turned casual viewers into devoted analysts. College students passed around copies like underground contraband, building the film's reputation through dorm room screenings. The DVD success story became a blueprint for how cult films could find their audience outside traditional theatrical releases. Cult fandom proved more valuable than mainstream success.
What are you guys doing in the middle of the road, huh? What are you thinking?
Go home! Go home and tell your parents everything's gonna be okay!
Fact number 19. James Cameron's disturbed endorsement inspired a sequel. Years after release, Richard Kelly had the opportunity to explain Donnie Darko's ending to James Cameron, the legendary director of Titanic and Avatar. Cameron admitted the film genuinely disturbed him, which Kelly took as the ultimate compliment from a master filmmaker. That endorsement from one of Hollywood's most successful directors gave Kelly the confidence and inspiration to begin working on a true sequel script. The conversation became a turning point in Kelly's career, proving his vision had lasting impact on cinema's most respected voices.
I don't know. She didn't leave a note, and the house was all messed up.
But you're okay. You call the cops.
Yeah, they said I should leave the house and that I should go to a safe. I'm just so scared. I'd keep thinking something awful is happening, and it's my fucking stepdad. I know it.
Fact number 20. The Arabic font poster became a 9/11 casualty. The film's original promotional poster used an Arabic-style font that distributors were forced to redesign after September 11th. The ornate lettering was deemed potentially offensive or triggering to audiences still traumatized by terrorist attacks. However, the original Arabic-style font still appears in the film's opening and closing title sequences, creating an eerie relic of pre-9/11 design choices. This typographical change represents how real-world events can alter even the smallest artistic decisions in unexpected ways. The font became a hidden piece of history, visible only to viewers who pay attention to the actual film credits rather than promotional materials.
That was amazing. Anyway, we take the red eye back tonight. And we ought to arrive. Yeah, okay. We'll take the red eye back tonight. We should arrive around 8:30 in the morning. I hope everything. I love you.
Bonus fact. Seth Rogen's forgotten first role. Before he became a comedy superstar, Seth Rogen made his very first movie appearance as one of Donnie's bully sidekicks. Nobody recognized the future star of Pineapple Express and Superbad in his brief, uncomedic role as a generic high school antagonist. Rogen had no dialogue and spent most of his screen time silently intimidating other students in the background. The casting director saw him as just another anonymous teenager, not a future Hollywood heavyweight. Years later, when Rogen became famous, fans started rewatching Donnie Darko, specifically, to spot his cameo appearance. It's surreal seeing the king of stoner comedy playing a straight dramatic role. It started as a disaster that nobody wanted to fund, directed by a terrified 25-year-old who nearly starved himself from stress. But somehow, that disaster became a classic that still haunts audiences over 20 years later. If you're into strange movie secrets and the weird chaos behind Hollywood's most disturbing films, hit subscribe, because we're just getting started with the madness behind the camera.